So now we'll have James Conner from Staellite View, who's going to tell us about StackSTAC for lightning fast experimentation. So over to you, James.
Thank you very much, Joanna. I think there was a typo in the schedule. It's actually Staellite View is the name of the company. But thanks to Chris for organising the conference, and thanks, Joanna, for chairing the session. My name is James O'Connor. I'm a geospatial engineer with a new space technology company called Staellite View. Just quickly introducing the company, we're a high-resolution mid-wave infrared thermal imagery company. So we plan on launching a series of satellites over the next few years, which will collect this high-resolution thermal data. We're based in London, and the first launch we have planned on board a SpaceX rideshare in early next year. Before we launch, we're obviously collecting some data. We've got a replica of the camera that will go onto that satellite, and we have it on board a plane. So we're collecting flight trial data. And the way we're organizing that is, unsurprisingly, using StackSTAC. So I'm here. So two of the projects that we depend on quite a lot, neither of them have logos, so I took the liberty of generating some logos. One's called stac-fastapi. We've heard about it. It's a really simple way of standing up a Stack server in a matter of minutes. In Staellite View, we do this using AWS Lambda, and we can write that infrastructure as code, which means that it's really fast to deploy and redeployable. And the other library I'd like to talk about is StackSTAC, which provides, as Basile mentioned, kind of great syntactic sugar, which allows us to take the results of a stack query and generate an X-array off the back of that. One of the other things I really like about StackSTAC is that it allows us to use stack as the majority word in some long sentences, like, for example, a stack.stack instance represents a stac-fastapi stack query results as an image stack. So, in case we weren't talking enough jargon. But anyway, as again, kind of repeating some of Basile's stuff, if we look on the left-hand side of the screen here, we can define an AOI as a GeoJSON polygon, a date range, and then in 2 lines, we can kind of generate this X-array using the StackSTAC library. So at the top example here, we have our stack query going in. This is just a HTTP request to a URL. And then the second line will return us this clipped X-array. And so if we want to point to a different stack URL, it's just a matter of changing the URL. It's the only parameter we need to change here. This is quite a simplification because obviously I'm leaving out pagination and things here. But one of the things I like about StackSTAC is the flexibility that you can just pass it a JSON object and it will interpret it. And a top tip, if you don't want to worry about pagination, just pass any cloud cover filter if you're working in the UK and Ireland, and you don't have to worry about page 2. So this kind of format allows us to generate this X-array very rapidly. And for Staellite View, that means we can run the stack query rather than passing files around, and then generate the results inside a Jupyter Notebook. So just for this example, I've gone to geojson.io, I've drawn a polygon, and using the code in the previous slide, generated one image. Oh, sorry, I stopped sharing the screen for a moment. Oh, apologies. Can you see that? Oop. Yeah, thanks, Reese. So we've generated our images, and one nice thing that StackSTAC also provides is the ability to set the pixel size and the CRS so that actually when we retrieve these results, they're mapped onto one another, so we can start looking at downstream applications or kind of deep learning, that kind of applications. I think one thing Chris mentioned in his opening comments about the conference is this kind of idea of meeting people halfway, so extending kind of an olive branch to simplify a lot of the geospatial querying and things so that other developers can come into the fold. And I see StackSTAC as very much going more than halfway to simplify how we query geospatial data. So quite like it for that reason. Just one other thing I'd like to mention is our public stack that we've released 5 image samples just from the flight trials that I mentioned. I'll be adding this to Stack Index in due course, but I think I might have made a mistake on some of the extensions. But regardless, you can go, I'll pop the link in the Gitter to go and look through it yourself. And if you're interested and you think you might have other applications, I know Bazil probably does, speaking about land surface temperature in the previous talk, please drop me a line. Yeah, that's all I have to say, and I'm on Twitter if anyone ever wants to chat. Thanks.
Thank you so much, James, for this presentation.